23rd, 2018, Monday. I think I'm at least in the middle of a storm in my mind. Just comes in one of those mental storms I'm just gonna have to ride out every once in a while. There isn't anything actually wrong. My brain's probably looking for something to be wrong, and it makes sense for something to be wrong because that's easier to deal with versus just I'm nervous or whatever. But I really don't know what exactly I'd be concerned with aside from just whatever. My brain wants to be really worried about the new path and about whether it's right or not, what I'd have to do to fix it and all that, and it's as I said yesterday, it's the good news are thing and the streaming stuff's not where I want it to be right now, but it's gonna take time. Something I've had to remember a few times, and even when I came home today, is that everything else that I'm good at some point I wasn't. I'm great at doing math. There was a time where I wasn't. I'm great at playing through video games, and I at least like to think so. There's a time where I wasn't. There's a time that I wasn't good at programming, yet here I am now doing a job where I program, at least sometimes. I didn't get to this point in my life just by being good. I actually had to learn how to do something, and yeah, I've also been able to kind of just pick stuff up and just kind of whatever, but I had to learn to be good at those things. I had to learn what did and didn't work for me to get this apartment to the state that's at. Even now, for me to probably even get this apartment, I had to learn how stuff worked. They go back to this weird balancing act I keep trying to do where I really do want new path. I really do want to get off of the course that I'm on because I know it's not going to make me happy forever. But I also need to not only avoid sabotaging what I have right now, but I also need to still actually enjoy what I'm doing, because that's kind of the point of what I'm trying to do with this new path, is to try to do something I actually enjoy. And if I'm not careful, I'll make myself not enjoy it. Music is something that can really speak to your soul, that can really help articulate and have you feel in ways that words and images never could. There's for me right now, the music of the hour is Paramore. It's seemingly based around a lot around their earlier stuff. Probably I think it's their first album was All We Know Is Falling. Not all of it, but it seems like it's centered more towards that and all that feeling and attitude that music had. And there's one song in particular. It's not so much the message of the song, I don't think. Although there might be some scar that keeps flaring with it in some way or another. But what I'm about to say, I want it to be understood. Which I know is probably an obvious point, but I know how it can be taken. So I'm hopeful I explained this correctly and the points directed and put across correctly. One song in particular called Lovesick Melody, which is a great song, I think. Oh, the hidden gem, it seems like. It's one that when I first moved into this apartment actually, I played a lot, and then it's one that, for a reason, I've been playing it a bunch again recently. And if you read the lyrics of the song and listen to it, it's all about, saying that I don't want to fall in love with you, but you're so awesome that I can't help it, apparently. I don't think that's why right now it's resonating with me. Again, full disclaimer, I could be wrong. Mental health is a weird thing. But I think it's just that general mood, I think at that point you need to look at, like, the other parts of it, not just the lyrics, but just kind of, like, the energy of it, It's a lot of just not quite feeling in control. It's marching towards something that you don't want to march towards. And I don't really necessarily have exact things I'm refusing to march towards or not wanting to march towards, but that kind of energy still resonates with me. It's just I'm not in control. And so it still probably does go back to I don't like that I'm alone. You have friends you can talk to, I know, but there's something special about having a significant other that can't be replaced. And I guess I'll say that a requirement of significant other would be talk to most days, and one that I kind of keep fluttering on, but I think I know where I stand on it, of somebody that I could see in person at least most days. I think. Again, I have no idea. It might be something that can change on a whim. Because I, on the one hand, have seen myself probably have a lot more problems in relationships than I probably needed to by the fact that I didn't see whoever it was every day. I think that a major point of strength of the relationship I had with Deanna was that we saw each other pretty much every day. Then when she lived on campus, it was every day. That was one of the great strengths of it, and it's why it definitely lasted almost 2 years. That's not to say that it wouldn't have lasted, that it may have lasted just as long, maybe longer, maybe shorter, but it may have not have lasted as long as well if it was just, well, once a week or something. With Christina, it was like once every few weeks, and that was rough. Because with that, you don't have discussions you need to have. There's certain things that are just lost. Man, there's other things about it. That relationship with Christina was probably less of a relationship and more of just two people mutually agreeing to hook up every once in a while. If that's what you want to do, by all means go do it, but it's not my thing. wasn't then, and it's still most likely not going to be what I want now. I still debate, again, I debate if I would need to hold hard and fast to see in person most days, because a strike against it is that it limits me, and a strike against it in the same vein is that, well, for me, it's never been all about the physical stuff. It's never been about, hooking up, getting lucky, not just my built bra, or that bullshit. It's never been about that. It's been about somebody I can connect with. That's why me and Deanna lasted almost 2 years. That it was somebody that I truly enjoyed being around. And, but again, I can be assured that the extended periods of time apart probably weren't great because we didn't live near each other. So over the summer, we pretty much never saw each other for the 2 years we were dating. And it's a major reason why I wouldn't want to pursue a relationship with Deanna right now, is that that's almost an hour drive. I'm not seeing that person every day. I don't see the people that I know in Burlington every day. I'm not seeing Byron and Bree every day, and they're 45, 50 minutes away. Seeing somebody, for me, if I have to drive more than 30 minutes, that's a road trip. That's something I don't want to do very often. At least I don't think I would want to. It wore thin after 2 weeks of me living in Burlington, having a job here. And I just, again, after 30 minutes one way, you've got an hour of your day you have to dedicate just to driving. And that's steep. At least for me it is. I know that people are like, oh, I've always lived 45, 50 an hour, man, an hour away or whatever it is. Like, okay, that's good for you, but not, for me it's not. For me, a half hour is something that's steep. So I argue, okay, well, what's the distance that I am okay with? Is 30 minutes too far? Does it have to be 25 or bust? Does it have to be at least in the same city? I mean, what does it have to be? I don't think I could do one where there'd be pretty much no chance of seeing the other person except for every few months. Story time. I'm not sure if I've talked about what probably needs to be considered the first actual relationship I was in. It wasn't Christina. There's another girl named Jessica. Those three names, Jessica, Christina, Deanna, and there's one other. I think I have a thing for girls whose names, first name ends in A. I don't know why. So, it was in the summer of '08, just out of high school. Just still getting used to this newfangled internet thing. I think it was, yeah, I think I saw a lot of MySpace at that time. Didn't have it for very long. After a while, Facebook came to the thing, but I digress. So yeah, this girl randomly befriended me, and we talked for a bit. Eventually, we decided that we would officially start dating each other. It was great, and it was awesome. I talked to her every day and all that, and went on one movie date with her. That was awesome, too. Then it kind of just ended. In all reality, she had a lot of crap going on in her mind. That's the best way to put it. So for various reasons, mostly probably for the fact that there really wasn't much to it, I almost don't count it. it happened, but Christina was the first one that actually counted, and of course Deanna was the one that worked the best. So, whatever metric thinking you want to do with, that or whatever, I guess if I date somebody else and that works out, then Jessica was just weird blip on the map. Yeah. But if fate's line and it's me and Deanna again, then Jessica will count. Whatever, that's getting to moot points that don't matter, not... I've gone off track here, but I guess I'm still kind of on it. I want to be in love. It's the truth. I want to bring this back to some focalized point, I guess. Which I don't quite remember where I was anyway. As you know, I don't write scripts for these, I just talk. So... Again, I don't think my biggest thing is about not being in love right now. I don't think so. I know that it's still something that bothers me. I definitely know that I probably wouldn't need to be finding someone I'd want to build a forever with, even though I'm resource-wise probably at a point to do it. I am not sure that mentally and emotionally wise I'm at that point. I think I probably need to get further along my path. I need to start building a life. I need to have the Good News Art channel be something that I am doing every week. I need to get the streaming stuff to be what I am doing several times a week. I think I'm just riding through a storm right now. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just a storm that's a-blowing. I'll get through it. Aside from the mental storm, today was actually an okay day. It was actually a good day. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Minus the mental storm, pretty much what it is. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.